Hi there, this is Murray Foster from Great Big Sea, and this is my interview for Gibson.com and Epiphone.com.
Sitting here with Murray Foster from Great Bass Player and Great Big Sea on the Gibson Guitar Tour Bus outside the Bourbon, 2010 Winter Olympics. What have you guys been doing out here?
Well, we came out here about 3 days ago. We have a few Olympic gigs. We did the Molson Hockey House, and tonight we do the Victory Ceremonies gig. And I think we're the only artists to sell out the Victory Ceremony gig. So they'll hand out the medals, and then there'll be 23,000 crazy fans that we have to entertain tonight.
And look what are you playing, Murray?
What am I holding?
What are you holding?
What is this?
What is that?
This is a fantastic Jack Cassidy bass. I played one on stage last night for the first time and loved it. And in fact, we were just down in New Orleans recording for a month, and one of the engineers had one of these, and I played it. It had flat wounds on it, and fell in love with it. And I think this is my new BFF, best friend forever.
Now, Great Big Sea, new record coming out.
Yep, new record coming out in June. The tentative title is Safe on Shore. 12 tracks, 12 great hits, and then we'll do a big North American tour in the fall.
And, I mean, people might think of Great Big Sea as being more of a Canadian sort of East Coast band, but that's not really the fact, is it?
Well, I mean, I guess our touring sort of schedule, our touring, area is all of North America at this point. And I guess also over the last few years, over the last decade, we've branched out from just sort of Celtic music, pure Celtic music. So now, in fact, the new record is almost more Americana, which is partly, I guess, the New Orleans influence. But yeah, it's not strictly a Celtic band, I would say, anymore. There are sort of elements of that, but it's pretty much it's kind of a pop rock band in many ways.
Now, you weren't the original bass player for Great Big Sea.
No.
How did that all come about? Because you're from Ontario.
Yeah. And
they're all from Newfoundland.
Well, and I have to say, for the first few years, they were horrified that they had a Torontonian in their Newfoundland band. The original bass player, Daryl Power, he left in about '02 to raise his family. He'd been doing it for 10 years, something like that. So he'd just had enough. And the Great Big Sea Boys knew me from my previous band, Moxie Fruvis. And we did a lot of a cappella singing in Moxie Fruvis, and I played bass in Moxie Fruvis, and that was the skill set they basically needed for Great Big Sea, because that's what Daryl did. So they called me. I was the first and only call. They said, come and join our merry band of ne'er-do-wells and rogues. And that was in '02, I believe, '03, and yeah, I've been the bass player ever since. And
there's a movie coming out too, isn't there?
There is a movie coming out.
That's kind of got some Great Big Sea in it?
Well, fans of Robin Hood will be thrilled to know that I think in May of this year, Robin Hood is coming out with Russell Crowe. And Russell and Alan Doyle, the lead singer of Great Big Sea, became very good friends about 5 years ago when Russell came to our Molson Amphitheatre show in Toronto. And he'd been a fan before that. And Russell said to Alan, let's do some music together, so they ended up writing songs. Alan produced Russell's record after that. So they'd become quite close, and they sort of jet off over a weekend to Ireland and drink together, as you would, I guess.
I do it all the time.
Yes, I do that too, except I go to Scarborough. So Russell got Alan an audition with Ridley Scott, the director, in LA in December, and he got the gig, and he spent, I think, 8 weeks doing archery and sword fighting and horseback riding in Australia as training, and then last summer spent 5 months filming the movie. So it comes out in May. And
is there Great Big Sea music in it?
Well, I think Alan wrote 3 songs specifically for the movie, so at 3 different times he gets up around the bonfire with a lute, literally, and sings, some 12th century kind of ballad. So it's not Great Big Sea music per se, but it's Alan Doyle songs.
Now, trivia question. Asking everybody this, it's kind of like you're going to get your crystal ball and you're going to tell me what the future is going to be. 2010 Winter Olympics. Here we are. We're in Canada. National sport would be curling's up there, but it's kind of all about hockey.
Curling's the official one. Hockey's the unofficial.
Right. So, men's gold medal final, which is coming up on Sunday. who's going to be in it, and what's the final score going to be?
I think Canada will triumph over the Americans, and the score will be, despite an outstanding performance by Ryan Miller, I think it's going to be a 3-1 hockey game for Canada.
So you heard it here. Let's see how Murray Foster from Great Big C's prediction is, folks.
Put money on it, if that's legal.
No, we don't do betting around here. We don't do any of that stuff.
Right.
We're you know,
forget I said
squeaky
that.
clean. So thank you, and have a great time at the Olympics, and we'll be sure to see you rocking that Epiphone Jack Cassidy real soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.